So we are in the city of Verona doing a little fire training. We had been lucky enough to get 4 apartment buildings that we've been able to train in for the last month or so, and this is kind of the final thing for us, is actually getting to burn in them and do live fire burns, which is just a rare thing for us to get to be able to do. We're doing apartment burns today, have 6 crews working on fires, and so we light an apartment, which is the equivalent of, our fire is actually equivalent of 2 overstuffed chairs. They are not chairs, they are actually pallets and hay that are in there, and then once that fire is going, then we allow the engine company to attack that fire, and then also have a truck company, which for us does ventilation and search and rescue, and then a squad company that come in also help out with that search and rescue and some overhaul and ventilation also. We have a ton of departments out here. Today, we split it up over 6 days, but overall, Verona Fire Department's obviously represented. Then we also invited Fitchburg, Oregon, Brooklyn, Belleville, New Glarus, Mount Horeb, Black Earth, Mazomanie, Wanakee, Cross Plains, just all kinds. We also have some help from Verona EMS for doing our medical stuff. Also, MATC is here helping us with it. Another group that actually came in last week and was able to do it was Dakari, which is the fire investigation team out of Dane County. So they were able to come in and do some practice fire investigation. So we actually burned those fires for them 2 weeks ago, and then they investigated them last week.
So the city of Fitchburg is participating in training. We were invited by the city of Verona, who has a couple of acquired structures that basically provides us the most realistic conditions and environments for training. So our firefighters are getting a sense of what it takes to actually get inside of a building, address the heat, the smoke that they are likely to see in an actual fire. So there's nothing that replicates fire conditions like an acquired structure. So it was one of those things where we absolutely needed to take advantage of this training opportunity. And we've been participating. We've not only helped out with some of the instructors, but we've also had some of our firefighters go through on some of the firefighting teams. So from that respect, valuable training, a lot of information is going to be shared here, and we're no doubt going to learn about the things that went well and the things that would need improvements, but all of that is based on the sets and reps that we're going to be doing today. Right now, we've got one of our newer firefighters that was just recently hired, used to be an intern, and then 3 additional interns are here today. So all newer in the fire service, but we have had some of our more senior firefighters here over the past couple of days.
We're trying to mimic what a real fire is going to be. So instead of having just one crew go in and take care of everything, like we do a lot of times in our training burns, we're trying to develop it into more of a complete scenario so that we're getting all those different interactions, and crews have to talk to each other and so forth while they're doing it. The nice thing about this is we're getting close to that real live fire. We're getting the excitement up, we're getting the adrenaline going for folks, especially some of the newer ones that have joined us over the past few years, and this is the first time they're able to see some of this. So to get that excitement and to have as close to reality as we can get really helps us out with being ready to do it when we actually have the fire that we have to go to, the real one.
One of the things that is probably it needs to be said in this situation is the fact that this is not a safe environment. It's still not a controlled environment. It's as controlled as we can make it in a training situation. So I think from a training aspect, this is probably some of the more serious approaches that we're going to see from our firefighters. Not a lot of joking around. Obviously, they're going to talk with their fellow firefighters from other municipalities. There is a networking element to this, but at the same day, with actual fire inside the building, and with the fact that fire is dangerous, smoke is dangerous, they have to be on their game, on the top of their game. They have to pay attention, and they need to do some of the same techniques and tactics that they would do in a real life situation. So the difference here is the fact that we know that the fire is controlled. We have certain safety mechanisms in place to be able to combat the fire if it gets too big too fast. but we also try to control those elements so that they can see fire for what it's actually going to do in a real life situation. So I think from that aspect, they're taking this really seriously, and they're approaching this almost as if they were responding to an actual fire.
Personally, I just love the firefighting. It is amazing. Unfortunately, I don't get to do it that much as a fire chief anymore, but to be able to set this up and facilitate it and share that ability and that training with the folks, and share some of our knowledge, whether it's from some of our senior folks on the Verona Fire Department, or from the MATC instructors, or any of the other guys and gals that show up from the other departments to train with us.